in the water, because I be honest, when I first saw it with the logo, I was like, oh man, it's almost feels aggressive. And then I was like, in this age of fitness is everything, this idea of no days off, like it actually feels like, oh my God, there really is something here. What is the feedback around the brand?
So it's really interesting you say that, because when I very first started it, I got just beat over the head. The dog was too much. No women are gonna like it. Like no days off is too, like exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
It was way too aggressive. And then I'm thinking, like, because you're very sensitive to something you've created, right? And I'm like, well, wait a minute. This was built off a wellness community that had been in, at the time, 13 years of women wearing the pit bull and no days off, and women, 60% women come to my gyms, and I'm like, that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they love it. Like, women will love it. And I just kept saying, it's because I'm telling you, like, I'm the one that said, this is what it's going to look like. This is what I like, because all my advisors, everyone from can design to name to everything was like, you cannot put it out like that. You need to make the pit bull as tiny as possible. You need to do this, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
Because for me, the pit bull is the swoosh.
Yeah.
And then no days off is the just do it. And, we're wearing it right now. I mean, this is what I grew up on. And I knew that I didn't build 13 years of brand equity with a recognizable badge of honor that people wouldn't resonate with and like identify with it. I just said, this is what it's going to be. And believe it or not, I mean, it's been very well received. I think that we're not for everybody, and I think that's a good thing. I think if you try to be for everybody, then you're really for nobody.
Totally.
So we just had a recent meeting, and it was with a strategic, and they were like, we feel like your brand can sell to 70% of the country, and we like those odds, And
that's
so,
amazing.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think what it is for me is that, so when I very, very first started my very first gym, I said to myself, I want something that goes beyond the gym walls. I want something that goes beyond a product. I want something that people can attach to their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's really never been about a product. Water is just the vessel. Water is just something that I think I've always led with water. So if you came to me and you're like, Manning, I want you to train me. I want you to, let's say you were 40 pounds overweight. Mm-hmm. The very first thing I'm going to ask you is how much water are you drinking? Mm-hmm. That's the very first question I've asked professional athletes, obese people, regular Joes, like whatever. That's the first question out.
So it's super authentic.
Yes. And then the second question is, are you walking? So it's this water and walking, right?
Yeah.
Like, are you doing those two things? Because for me, if you can't do that, then you're not going to lift weights. You're not going to take the yoga class. You're never going to find a wellness. That's really where it started. So the brand is very authentic in terms of the product and the message.
It was interesting, my own journey of it. Like that was my initial take. And then I think as I got exposed to the gym and you, and then even following some of the social content, I'm like, oh no, that like I was getting it, right?
Yeah,
which I think is amazing and differentiated. So good for you for sticking.
What's interesting, I just read an article on New Balance. New Balance is on the rise.
Yeah.
And they were tanking for a long time. And the marketing was they were going to double down on making the brand cool again. So they just kept doing all these brand plays. And sales were just going down. But they wouldn't stop pushing the brand and the new hipper, cooler brand, whatever.
Yep.
Now sales are through the roof. And what it is that you've got to educate and speak and just play that brand play until, like you said, until people start to realize what it is.
Yeah.
Because if you ask, let's say 10 people what no days off means to them, a lot of people are going to say like, I have to go to the gym, or it's the grind, it's hard work. But that's completely opposite of what we're preaching. No days off is never taking a day off on you. It's a commitment to becoming your best self. That's in recovery. That's in rest. That's in taking your kids to school. Yeah. That's in date night with your wife. It's living with intention.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's saying today I'm granted life.
Yeah.
I'm gifted this thing. I'm gonna take no days off on life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's always been did you ever see that movie Pay It Forward?
I don't think
I'm
so.
taking it way back. But
yeah,
you should, if you've never seen it, you should watch it. This little kid, wrote on like a little sticky note, and basically it's like, do something nice to someone and then pay it forward.
Yeah.
And then it became this huge like thing
movement
that went global. When I saw that movie, I said to myself, I want to create something like that. So for me, again, it just goes back to like, if you can create a movement, then you can sell anything.
Totally.
You know?
I was listening to the New Balance store today too, and they were talking about how they embraced the idea of like ugly sneakers, right? Because they were like all trying to become trendy. They're like, no, just embrace that they are what they are.
Right.
And then they did some collabs that helped them level up in terms of like the value created, which I think, you know, Lululemon's a genius collab for you guys to be doing for that exact reason. I love that change of the messaging, like, because you're right. Most people would say, oh, it's hardcore or whatever, but that totally makes sense.
Yeah, and I love the Lululemon thing because I've been doing this. I mean, so I'm 18 years into this, right? Like I've spent millions of dollars protecting the brand and protecting the trademarks and all this stuff. And it's like, I feel like a slingshot, like that I'm being stretched and stretched and stretched. And I'm waiting for it to be released, you know, to go.
Yeah.
And these are the moments that are starting to happen where now people are coming to us. And it's like, instead of me like begging people to do stuff, now I'm getting the phone calls and they're like, hey, we want to do this with you.
Yeah.
And that's such a good feeling.
That's amazing.
So it's like, and then also too, I mean, Lululemon's like a, you know, probably the biggest athleisure brand in the world. So
yeah, exactly.
It's and it's been a phenomenal collaboration. They've been really fun to work with, and they really love No Days Off in the way I just described it. Like they get it.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's so important with the collabs. Like we've done them before, and we're doing more now. But I was like explaining to my team, I'm like, there's value on every time you do a collab. Somebody's gonna look, if they're the bigger brand, they're gonna look and say, hey, it costs this much money, right? And that's fine. I'm not saying not to pay anything, but I'm like, they also have to recognize the value of our brand, right? And the exposure that brings. And a collab is the partnership. It's not the, otherwise it's just pay to play, and that's like see-through, right?
Well, believe it or not, they're paying us.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that's what I mean. Like,
But I always tell them, whenever you do a collaboration, and really whenever you do anything with someone else, like even your distributors, I always say this, I don't want to do anything just transactional. It cannot be, I'm going to pay you this and we're going to do this. If it's that, I don't want to do it.
yeah.
It has to be a collaboration. It has to be a partnership.
Yeah.
It has to be both of us adding value.
Here's the truth. Most people are walking around chronically dehydrated, and the water they're drinking to fix it is actually working against them. It's stripped of minerals, or it's loaded with contaminants and microplastics, and it's all coming from these plastic bottles. So you're drinking more, but you're getting less. So my team and I, we fixed that. We created No Days Off Premium Water. We take it through an 8-step reverse osmosis process. It comes out contaminant-free, PFAS-free, microplastic-free. Then we put back what your body actually needs: calcium, magnesium, and potassium. The electrolytes you sweat out, and the minerals that run over 300 reactions in your body. We balance it to an 8.1 alkaline pH for hydration that works at the cellular level. And we can it in aluminum, never plastic. So nothing leaches out into your water and nothing sits in the landfill. That's the hack. Hydration done the right way. Not more water, better water. But I'll be straight with you. Water is only half of it. The other half is showing up and doing the work. No days off. That's the whole reason this brand exists. So here's what I want to do for you. If you're local to, or even just visiting, Nashville or Miami, I want to give you a free workout at Legacy. On us, no catch. You come in, you train with our team, you feel what No Days Off is all about. So if you're serious about your health and you're anywhere near Nashville or South Florida, come see us. Book a free session at legacyfit.com. Walk into Legacy and tell us the big dog sent you. We'll take care of the rest.